Warning, this video contains explicit subject matter and some images that aren't child friendly. If you're sensitive to this, I recommend clicking off this video and watch something else. Enjoy. As you guys may know, a while back on May 31st, 2025, I posted a video called Eric's Burnt Items. And what ended up happening was that FunkyFrogzDude commented, "F***ing wasteful." Now at first, I didn't think much until he responded to my Discord DMs and said this. Someone tell me what good custom can come out of this. Exactly. This here was the last thing he said before he blocked me. I didn't even get a chance to apologize to him or anything, he just straight up blocked me. But then he doubled down by saying this in Eric's DMs. Now I've talked about this before, but many collectors have destroyed items before, even a lot of items are destroyed for customs, so I feel like as if this doesn't make any sense. Even though we will get back to the topic of destroying items, even though it will have nothing to do with Eric's burnt items whatsoever, we're getting into a complete different topic, and this is where the video truly starts. 2022. Now during the start of 2022, it was a very different time to be in the Gemmy community. Even though it wasn't too long ago, just everything about it to me was completely different compared to what it is today. During this time, Grandstand was a new thing to this community. And if you don't know what Grandstand is, if you've been living under a rock, short summary is that they are an eBay seller that sells broken prototypes for the 2000s and also tend to go for crazy prices. They happen to sell frogs, and this actually led me to discovering the FunkyFrogzDude Discord server. When I first joined his server, I noticed that he had a channel about stock photos, and at the time, I was actually looking for a certain stock photo, Gemmy 2009 Holiday Stubber Penguin. But I also did notice something really weird about the server when I saw there was a channel called Samantha. Now reminder that this was 2022 and I didn't think much of it at the time. I thought it was weird, but I didn't think much of it. In basic context, if you don't know what Samantha is, it is basically a humanoid Furby girl character, which was designed by Funky himself. Now what makes this very weird is that Funky would be a little too obsessive over it, to where he would think that Samantha is real and thinks that it is his girlfriend. He even had a whole channel of her on his Discord server. He'll usually drop art in there, and at the time, of course, I didn't think much of it, and as a matter of fact, they weren't the worst of what was about to come. Not saying that was good, it was horrible, but it gets much worse. Fast forward to June 2022, a fellow collector named Gemmy Corner created a Discord account based on Samantha. Now this account was the purpose of trolling Funky and not taking things too seriously. But Funky took it a little too personal, and I want to let you know that Gemmy Corner at the time was 12 years old and Funky was 17, and that age gap is illegal. So yeah, here's a screenshot of Funky talking to Samantha in non-childlike ways. Once again though, this was 2022 and I did not think much of it at first, and I kind of just ignored it. I just ignored it, moved on with my day, and that was it. I was oblivious to what was going on, and I didn't know what Funky was actually trying to do, because this would happen again a year later. And it gets worse, much worse. Now what you're seeing here is a couple messages that Funky said to a 13-year-old or 14-year-old collector named PXP. Now keep in mind, Funky was 18 at this time, and a 13-year-old and an 18-year-old should not be talking that way, which is really weird and disgusting. On top of that, Funky, back to the drawing part, When I said it gets much worse, it gets much worse. When the drawings get more sexual and they get worse each time. And I'm about to put a compilation of the censored version. I blurred them out, censored them heavily, so your eyes don't have to bleed in what I have to show you. And I have to show it so this motherfucker can get exposed. Now turn on the circus music. Now that we're done with that show, we're going back to PSP because there is more creepy stuff that he has said to PSP in his DMs, and these messages are rough. They are rough. Now, what you just saw there was Funky telling PSP he was gonna take a pic of his but tracing it to make it green like his avatar. Now, genuinely, who the tells someone this? Telling someone you're gonna trace your is not normal. Doesn't help either that PSP was 13 at the time and Funky was 18 when he was doing this. Disgusting. And you knew that he was a minor, knowing that most of the people in the Jemmy community are minors. Anyways, here's the next screenshot that Funky said to PSP. Funky actually has a history of telling random people about how good it is to have sex with Samantha. Yeah, what you just saw there was a series of screenshots of Funky saying uncomfortable stuff to various people in the community. These are not normal conversations to be having with random people. Even when he had a Discord server in 2022 before it got raided in 2023, he would always talk uncomfortably about Samantha. Funky also made another character named Veronica, and this motherfucker made a separate account to start flirting with Jemmy Time when he was 16 at the time, and he knew that he was uncomfortable with it. What you saw there was a series of screenshots from a server, and of course, Funky is thinking that Samantha is real. Also, about the Furby destruction part, we're gonna get to that later as the video that's playing right now. And he is insane. As seen here, you could tell that Jemmy Time is very uncomfortable with this. I hope that this was just a mistake and he was just talking about minors, mining stuff, not children. Yeah. This here is just disturbing as hell to even think about. Actually disgusting. I want you to keep in mind as well when Funky was doing this, he was also calling out Jemmy God for similar actions. Yet there is unwillingly so much evidence of Funky doing weird shit. And when Funky got called out in 2023, instead of taking the situation like a man, he decided to throw a little tantrum, and also not apologizing or even bringing up the situation. And when it got brought up again when Eric's burnt item came out, he also called it irrelevant info. Oh, so apparently if Joe Bean video groomed the kid, does that mean irrelevant info? No! Absolutely not. You are still a weirdo and you're never running away from it. Now, aside from him being a creep toward minors, he also has a series of giving people death threats over the dumbest imaginable, including Furbies. As is seen here, this is when Funky was crashing out at William over him gluing a Furby to a brick. Funky also thinks that Furbies are animals. Honestly, can't tell if he's either rage baiting or he's actually insane in the head to even think that. Funky is literally acting like how an 8 to 12-year-old in this community would act like if a random item got destroyed back in 2018 to 2020. Yet, Funky is 17 telling people to rot in hell for destroying items. Makes sense. He was 19 at the time talking about a 14-year-old like this, by the way. He was also doing a wedding for Samantha and nobody cared. So that was a series of random Funky messages on Discord. Just a bunch of things of him either saying death threats or more things about Samantha. Now recently he's been having some Instagram meltdowns and nobody is buying it, to the point where some people will even block him on Instagram and he will throw more fits. Can't even bother to say my name.
You stupid.
He also wanted to make a show called Funky and Friends, and what the hell am I looking at, bro? That's a pile of doo-doo shit. I've also been informed that if someone really likes anything in his despises list, he will usually want them to die. Oh, and don't get me started on attachment hotel hate. He would usually want certain characters to be tortured in the most gruesome way possible. You know, kind of like Terrifier. Which is funny to think about because he hates the Terrifier movie, yet the way that he wishes death on people is exactly like what Art the Clown would do. Totally not weird to have lotion near Furbies. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say. This isn't just a video talking about why Funky's a weirdo. This is also just a warning for anyone in the Jemmy community that come across people like this. It's been an issue for years,
But this is the year where we change all of that. For years, we always stayed silent about drama and never spoke out, I feel. I'll say for like the last 4 years, we were basically scared to speak out. And I feel like this year, I've been speaking up a lot lately. And I think it is the perfect time to speak up about stuff like this, because I feel like if we don't speak up about it, it will only continue to get worse. And that's why we need to speak up. Anyways, enjoy this little clip from Eric for an upcoming video.